Right, yes, it's me again, and yes, it's another review of a Stranger Things episode. The episode is the Turnbow Trap, and yes, nobody's bought me a Dungeons and Dragons t-shirt. Ho ho. Right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Paul. I do the Daily Teaser Quiz. I do a lot of movie reviews. I generally talk a hell of a lot of severe gonads, but occasionally I talk a lot of severe gonads about the t-shirt I'm wearing. It's a Traveller one, an old sci-fi role-playing game one, basically because I haven't been able to get hold of a Dungeons and Dragons one. The reason Dungeons and Dragons is relevant is because, of course, this is my review of the third episode of Stranger Things Series 5, and the episode is called The Turnbow Trap. This is what I saw. Chapter 3, The Turnbow Trap, opens with grunts of effort made by Jim Hopper, David Harbour, as he tries to slice through the impenetrable wall he and Eleven have found in the Upside Down. He's using a large knife, whilst Eleven, Millie Bobby Brown, uses her powers to try the same thing. Neither, needless to say, are successful, and both have to hide from an approaching army patrol. An army patrol now using a strange sonic device that causes pain to Eleven and prevents her from using her powers. It's only in the ensuing gunfight that the outnumbered pair manage to disable the device and capture the patrol's leader. Back in the real world, Robin and Will, by Hulk and Noah Schnapp, are fleeing Hawkins only to be found and helped by Will's mother Joyce, Winona Ryder. Found, helped, and lectured by Joyce, who's not pleased to see the danger Robin has put Will in. It's only once Joyce has calmed down that Will is able to explain quite rationally what the situation actually is. Explain that he's now able to connect himself to Vecna, that he now knows Vecna's disguising himself as Mr. Whatsit, and that he now knows who Vecna's next target actually is. Right, what did I think of this episode, of the bundle of joy that is The Turnbow Trap? There are few things enjoyable or as enjoyable as a good heist movie, and I say that knowing full well that my definition of a good heist film is going to be different to yours. My point simply is that The Turnbow Trap is a heist movie. It sees the team planning to get a reluctant Erica, Priya Ferguson, to feed a poison pie to the Turnbow family. Derek Turnbow, I should add, is one member of the family and is Vecna's latest target. The team blindfold Derek, hide him and his family in a local barn, and booby-trap the Turnbow house so that they can plant a tracker on the Demogorgon and follow it into the Upside Down and get led to Vecna as a result. That is the plan. But in practice, of course, the plan goes like this. The Turnbows are poisoned, Derek is poisoned and blindfolded, the family are hidden, the booby traps are set off by the Demogorgon, all of which goes off after the Demogorgon escapes, after Tina has refused to eat the pie. That, as in all good heist movies, is where things start to go badly, badly wrong. Right, that's my initial thinking. But what else did I notice about the episode? I don't know that I can tell you much, except I'm vaguely reminded of an old fairy tale of Little Red Riding Hood. Holly Wheeler, Nell Fisher, is in this episode. After being captured by Vecna, Jamie Campbell Bower, she's guarded by Vecna himself in his far more palatable form of Mr. Whatsit, and fed with endless amounts of treats and berries and sweeties, gifted a boombox, and a cassette copy of Tiffany's I Think We're Alone Now, but warned, as in every good fairy tale, that she mustn't go into the woods near the house, or else she'll be eaten by monsters. Fairy tale is possibly the right word. Back in The Crawl, the first episode, Mike, Finn Wolfhard, tells Holly he's made her a Dungeons and Dragons character, painted up a miniature, and called the character Holly the Heroic. Hoping the figure would interest Holly in the game, but also be vaguely inspirational. The painted miniature certainly is, because the Turnbow trap sees Holly inspired to steal some of the clothes in Vecna's house, dress up as a Dungeons and Dragons character, and bravely go and look for the monsters that Vecna has warned her about. Red Hooded Cloak, monsters in the woods. Now I think about it, the Turnbow trap is definitely reminded me of Little Red Riding Hood. I grant you Vecna, and not the hideous thing in the wood, is the big bad wolf. But the Turnbow trap is the first time that I can think of that Stranger Things has referenced an old-fashioned fairy tale. There's another thing, a scene, I should say, that caught my attention. A conversation between Joyce and her youngest son, Will. It's a conversation where the pair talk about trust and sees the two of them apologising to each other for their behaviours that morning at the start of the episode. It's hard to pin down why, I think, but this one conversation was quite a watchable thing to see. Granted, there are finer screen moments. The entirety of the body, the Buffy the Vampire Slayer episode. There's a confrontation between the Fourth Doctor and Davros in episode 5 of Genesis of the Daleks. And the Doctor's famous "Do I Have the Right" speech in episode 6. Look those up. They are stunning pieces of work. This scene of a mother and son talking about how they should trust each other more and apologising for their flaws. This scene of a mother and son just chatting together possibly isn't on a par with those others. But the scene has an emotional depth and an emotional restraint, and it's a touching thing, a hell of a thing to watch in the midst of all the lunacy of the rest of the Turnbow trap. So what did I think of the Turnbow trap, of Stranger Things Series 5's version of a heist movie, a crime caper? I loved it. Granted, I don't think the show's played this episode for scares as it has in the first two. But then again, sometimes even the scariest of scary serials has to have changes in pace, has to have action, lightness, emotions, a surprise ending even, in order for the scares to be even scarier. Frankly, the Turnbow trap does that, and does it well, and of course gives us a surprise return of a returning character. That monster is something to catch. I will personally be looking forward to the next episode with a certain amount of anticipation, because the Turnbow trap has set quite a good bar. Just as a minor point, as a minor interruption, I've watched the scene between Mike and Holly again from episode 1, The Crawl, because at least one person has posted it to Instagram. Now, in that scene, Mike mentions that Holly's Dungeons and Dragons character can cast a spell called Dimension Door. It's a spell that takes its caster, its cleric, to wherever they can imagine, somewhere they've been before and remember well. I am wondering, is Dimension Door another example of Chekhov's gun? Is it something that we're going to be told about in the first episode and then see used by the last one? I don't know, but I'd love to find out. Right, that is where I am going to leave things once again at the end of my review of episode 3 of Stranger Things. I will thank you for watching this video or reading the original post on my blog, Knickknacks Old Peculiar, if that's what you've done. Before I go, there are maybe a last couple of things. If you like what you see, I do plenty more, plus quizzes, plus movie reviews, so please feel free to hit the subscribe button. Please feel free, if you're watching on a phone or a desktop, to hit the little eye there, because that will take you through to my tip jar. If you do like what I'm doing, finances always help. It helps run this channel. I should also tell you that I'm going to be watching the 4th episode of Stranger Things 5, Sorcerer, on or about Saturday the 28th of February, or possibly the Friday before, and I'll have my written and video reviews up by next Monday at the very latest. Please feel free to have a look at the rest of my content. Please feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and please follow my blog, Knickknacks Old Peculiar. I will see you next time. Take care, have fun, be good, and be seeing you.